Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everyone. My name is Dominic, and today you're tuning in to the Comic Book Report, where we review comic books and graphic novels so you can get an idea of what to read. And it's Christmas Day in the US today, and to celebrate, I wanted to go ahead and shout out 5 must-read Christmas comics. I went back and forth a bit this year trying to decide if I wanted to read a proper Christmas-based graphic novel, or if I wanted to do this, basically a list of single issues that happen to be Christmas-themed or happen during Christmas. Anyway, I'm excited to dive into this Christmas special today, but before we do, just shouting out our channel sponsor, OrganicPriceBooks.com. If you're interested in picking up your own comic book collected editions, I highly encourage you to check out their website. You can find a link for it in the description of the video. And if you find something you like, you can use my discount code at checkout, TheComicBookReport, to save $2 off of your order. Please note if you use my affiliate code or link to make a purchase, I will earn a small commission, but it's a fantastic way to support this channel. Thank you for considering. Now let's get started with today's list. Okay, first up on our list today, in no particular order, we have Hawkeye issue 17 from the Matt Fraction David Aja run. This issue is largely illustrated, though, by Annie Wu. It's a much different art style throughout most of this comic book issue. Essentially, Hawkeye, I believe, is watching television. He comes across a kind of cartoony, anthropomorphized animal holiday special called Winter Friends, and it's just absurd and odd. The early couple panels almost make it look like it's supposed to be kind of a Charlie Brown animated knockoff, but then we go into a full-on kind of animated cartoon animal situation for the rest of the issue. It really does mess with the kind of read-through experience for this Hawkeye run, but it's a delightful little interlude that is a fun, just kind of holiday treat. I had a blast going through this Saga of Barton and Bishop paperback a couple years ago from Marvel. I know there is an omnibus for this entire Hawkeye run that at the time of this recording is actually back in print, so definitely be sure to scoop that up if you're interested. This is, again, not a good representation of the rest of the run, but it's a really funny, just kind of punchy, just holiday special. Like I said, it kind of just shows up out of nowhere. This run I really like because it feels really slice of life. It's what Hawkeye does when he's not off saving the world with the Avengers, and you find that he still gets into just all sorts of shenanigans and crime fighting. Across this run, of course, he's paired with his new protege, the also named Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. Just a fantastic run, and again, this Christmas issue is just a blast in context of the run because it kind of just hits you out of nowhere, and it's so odd and interesting. Again, the art style is very cartoony, and it's just, it reminds me of kind of after school watching those holiday specials, and I think it really does capture something, how it homages some of those. It is silly, it's zany, it's fun, and it's definitely interesting in a modern comic book. I think it's definitely a must read for me. Certainly this run is, and this is just a fun Christmas issue that I wanted to showcase today. Next on our list comes from our Mark Waid Daredevil run here, Daredevil issue 7 by Mark Waid and illustrated by Paolo Rivera. I have a standard size hardcover here. This is the volume 2, so the second batch of issues from the Mark Waid run. This run is also back in omnibus reprint at the time of the recording, at least the volume 1, which I believe contains this issue. Anyway, Matt Murdock, we have him at a Christmas party. There's kind of an infamous moment here that I truly love, where he actually shows up at a Christmas holiday party in a sweater that says, "I am not Daredevil" on it, and he's wearing little horns and everything, because at the time, he's pretty much been outed as Daredevil, but he's just denying it and keeping it lighthearted. But that image of Matt kind of laughing at this party in a shirt that says, "I'm not Daredevil," is definitely a part of this run that I think is an iconic image for just about everyone. So delighted that it's in this issue that I'm showcasing today. Again, it's very much a holiday issue, but most of the issue actually is not at this party. It involves Matt being on a school bus full of children that basically careens kind of off the road in the snow, and it's basically Matt and then Daredevil trying to save this group of children from exposure in the snow. They're just freezing cold temperatures, and he has to try to kind of get them to safety, try to herd all these children. It's a really powerful and moving issue. It's such a good character depth kind of issue. Just seeing him play hero in this way, trying to save this group of children, especially around the holidays, hallways and the snow, it's just really moving. It's part of what makes Daredevil so heroic, and it's something I truly love. This is such a groundbreaking issue in so many ways. I personally love that the central conflict isn't a spandex-wearing supervillain twirling his mustache or what have you. It's just the elements. It's just kind of trying to survive against the cold. Love the heroics here. Yes, I love that we got that Christmas party with the I'm Not Daredevil shirt. And frankly, this is a really good example of just how fantastic this run can be. And frankly, when I think about Christmas issues, I didn't want to leave this off the list. And hey, if you're watching and you're enjoying this video and you have yet to subscribe to the channel, I just want to invite you to do so. I'm always doing lists, comic book reviews, things like that. Thanks for considering. Now let's keep this list going. Okay, next on our list of must-read Christmas comics, The Flash, issue 87 by Mark Waid, illustrated by Mike Wieringo. To me, this was one of the standout issues I got to read in this Flash by Mark Waid Omnibus Volume 1 this year. There's so many great issues, but this one in particular really left an impression on me. Yes, it's because I love Christmas. Yes, it's because it's set at Christmas, has a lot of Christmas themes. We even have some gun-carrying Santa Claus that are kind of doing an act of domestic terrorism or robbery. Anyway, there's so much going on in this issue, but I really enjoyed it. I think one of the things I liked most about it is that it really feels like we get a sense of time and place in this run. I think I might have mentioned it when I did the full review for this omnibus, but it really just helps mark the passage of time. When you have a Christmas issue, you very much know where you are in time and place, and I really like that for the Flash. I think that this whole run really goes to great lengths to continue to humanize Wally West, his struggles, his world, his relationships, and to have a Christmas issue like this where he's not only having to just fight all of these different criminals during Christmas, but we also get to see the other side of his life that's kind of suffering because of that. He's not able to be at these Christmas parties. He's not able to be with his lady love. He has to be saving the day, and we really get to feel the sense of sacrifice in that in this issue. Frankly, the issue is very tense and just exciting. It's very action-packed, and for a Christmas issue, there's just a whole lot going on. I don't feel a lot of warm and fuzzies in this issue, but you definitely feel, again, just the weight of the burden of being the Flash. And I think that I like that. I like that you see the juggle of trying to be a real person and also trying to be a superhero. And to see that in a kind of conflict for someone during the holidays was nothing I'd seen really explored before, and I really felt like it was unique. Like I said, I love that it kind of gave it a time and place in this run, and I just think it's a fantastic issue. The art is exceptional from Wieringo, and Mark Waid just knocks it out of the park. Again, I walk away caring so much more about these characters, an absolute must-read. Okay, and the next Christmas comic I want to talk about today comes from the pages of X-Men issue 98 by Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum. I'm having it reprinted here in the Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 1, and frankly, when I think about Christmas comics, I think about the image that starts this issue, the big tree in New York. We have just all the X-Men gathered around. It's just such an iconic setting, and I really just feel like it just oozes Christmas. I don't really know how to explain it. Just those early issues that depict that big tree and just knowing the time of year it is, seeing all these shoppers and different people walking around. Just for whatever reason, this issue really captured my imagination when I first read it. I was just immediately like, wow, this is Christmas. Wow, it's so cool to see it just realized in a comic from, all these years ago. And on top of being just a fun holiday issue, it's also a really kick-butt action, just X-Men issue, where the X-Men have to fight the Sentinels, which have just returned to the scene for no reason they can figure out. Sentinels, of course, for those that don't know, are these giant mutant-killing robots that just kind of show up and they have to fight. They're super tough and interesting, and I love that they just kind of show up in the city while everyone's trying to do their holiday shopping or activities or ice skating or whatever, and the X-Men are just suddenly in a crisis mode when they were just enjoying this time together at the holidays. Again, it's an idea that you can be doing your holiday just trying to make merry, but you're also juggling life as a superhero, or in this case as an outcasted mutant. And I just really think that that sense of stakes and conflict just really enriched the characters for me in this issue. I just think it was a really cool juxtaposition to have these horrible robot villains and just this beautiful like Christmas setting. Really just interesting, and it played with my imagination. Like I said, I really just think of this issue basically first when I think of a Christmas comic. I'm not even really sure why, other than that big Christmas tree and just knowing it's around the time, but I just had to share it because I always think of this issue. I love the art from Dave Cockrum, and this is just really primetime, early Chris Claremont X-Men for me, and I just wanted to share. And last on our list today, but certainly not least, I have an issue coming out of Uncanny X-Men issue 143 by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. I have this issue here reprinted in the Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 2. This is a fantastic volume that again continues our adventures with the X-Men. This issue in particular is one that has stayed with me as well. The central synopsis of this issue is that it's basically Christmas and the X-Men are all off doing their own kind of holiday activities or plans, and we have the young Kitty Pryde in the X-Men mansion alone. She is of the Jewish faith, so I'm not sure that she's celebrating Christmas per se, probably Hanukkah or something like that. But anyway, she's left home alone at the mansion, and she thinks she's going to have a really good time, kind of having time to herself. And what happens is that there's sort of an alien that crash lands and ends up invading the mansion, and the whole issue is this really tense thriller where she tries to survive and ultimately stop this alien that has been unleashed on the grounds while she is home alone. And frankly, this has a really interesting kind of feel to it. In many ways, it feels like it pays homage to the Alien film franchise, especially that first entry where we have just this kind of taut psychological horror or thriller of this just unbelievably predatory alien on the loose, and you just have someone trying to stop them. That's what it feels like, and the fact that it's a kind of teenage Kitty Pryde who's still kind of learning her abilities and that she's by herself, it's just really intense, and it's all happening within her home at the X-Mansion, and again, it's just kind of a thriller comic. It doesn't necessarily feel like a Christmas comic other than the fact that it happens during Christmas, but frankly it's just a fantastic earlier X-Men issue. It's one of my favorites. It's a great showing for Kitty Pryde, who just reaches new heights of just bravery and just ingenuity, and frankly as a fan of the Alien franchise, the fact that this kind of pays homage to it in a way, it was just a blast. I really like this as a Christmas issue, just kind of it's off the beaten path, it's fun, it's interesting, and I think it should be read for all X-Men fans out there. And that's going to wrap up our 5 must-read Christmas comics for this year, 2023. Let me know in the comments if you liked this whole concept. I thought that this would be more fun than doing just a straight-up Christmas graphic novel this year. Maybe I'll try something different next year, not really sure. Obviously, there are so many other great Christmas issues out there. I was thinking also of an issue of Starman, one of Tom Taylor's Nightwing, and there are so many more. If you have some favorite Christmas comic classics, issues, or graphic novels, let me know in the comments below. And from the bottom of my heart, from me to you, Merry Christmas and a happy holiday to all of you. I hope you all have times with your family, friends, and loved ones. I know I have a lot to be thankful for this year, and I'm so thankful to celebrate it. And I wanted to celebrate it with all of you, my community. For those that are watching on Christmas, definitely a Merry Christmas. If you're watching it afterwards, my sentiments still hold. Thanks again for watching, everyone. This has been the Comic Book Report. On your way out, please don't forget to give this video a like, a comment, and maybe share it with a friend. Have a good one.